right, it's 6:01. I'm going to call the Park and Rec Committee to order. Could I please have a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting, assuming everyone received them and had an opportunity to read them?
You have that motion?
I have a motion. Can I have a second, please?
A second.
Heather seconded. Could I have everyone's approval by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Courtney, I sent you an extension to the agenda, and obviously it was after you already did this, so I'm just gonna kind of write it in here. And it's tri-county practices. Thanks for joining us. It's good to see you. Okay, first thing on the agenda is movie night, which is going to be the 25th of this month at Mason Park. I have Nathan Pitzer, who's going to be down there doing movie nights this month. It's not on the agenda. Oh, it is on the agenda. Porta Johns didn't get on the agenda.
I didn't see that on my thing.
That's
but-
all right. I'm going to add them.
Am I allowed to talk on that for the toilets for movie night?
When we get to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how this works, so.
That's all right.
Tell me to be quiet.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
You can ask as many questions as you like.
Absolutely. So, movie night. That will be our last movie night for the year. We're going to now go over tournaments. All right. Let me go back. I'm just going to go right off the calendar. Already on the calendar. I'm going to be getting approval for them this evening. We have tri-county tournaments. Adam, I don't know if any of these are changed yet or not. We have a tri-county tournament the 16th, 17th. We have a tri-county tournament the 23rd and 24th. Tri-county.
Tournaments we have is August 8th and 9th.
That's what I thought. I thought we only had tournaments August 8th and 9th.
Okay, so those are not happening now.
8th and 9th are the only set days we have for tournaments.
For August.
Do you have any practices those nights?
Practice would be Tuesday, Thursday.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have those as well. Okay, so no tournament the 17th and 16th?
Not maybe yet.
No tournament the 23rd and 24th, and no tournament the 30th and 31st. Okay. August 8th and 9th? Okay. Cool. We have a Special Olympics tournament on the 22nd.
Is that of August, July?
That's August.
Are you taking that one to council?
I'm taking all these to
Okay.
council. Yes, ma'am. I wanted to go ahead and get them on the calendar so that we didn't overbook anything, knowing that we have a meeting tonight. We just got these on the calendar last week. And then in October, we have the Ohio Generals Tournament on October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. 30th, 31st, and November 1st.
I believe there's a correction on that middle one.
Okay?
Second, third, and fourth, yes, and then he's got the 9th, 10th, and 11th. Nothing that following week, and then the 31st and 1st.
Okay, there's a conflict there because we're having our party in the park on the 10th.
Okay,
Okay, so I'll call Ed tomorrow.
okay,
We'll talk about it.
okay,
Okay? Doesn't mean they still can't have it. The only issue might be parking.
okay.
Okay, so I'll talk to him. Okay, let me write that down.
So there's not October 16, 17, and 18?
That's correct.
Okay.
And what are these called? The Ohio what group?
Generals. Generals. It's Ed Everhart. I'm gonna go ahead and write it on the calendar and take it off of the 16th and 17th and 18th. And then I have practices on Tuesdays for Tri-County and Thursdays from 6 to 8. For the rest of July,
Yes, ma'am. And just on that one field, Field 5.
on Diamond 5, every Tuesday and Thursday in August, September, and that's it? Okay. For Tri-County. Again on Diamond 5. That is all I have for the calendar schedule. We will be getting approval from council. We will present it to council for approval tonight.
Anything to add?
Right now, for
And I'm sorry, can you state who you are so I can make it for the minutes?
John Heilman, Mount Sterling Eagle Youth League. We are looking at Monday, Wednesday for ball games in the fall. Tuesday, Saturday.
Hold on.
Sorry,
Monday, Wednesday, fall ball.
for baseball, yep. And then Tuesday, Thursday for softball. We do not have a practice schedule yet. That probably won't be figured out until the end of the month.
Okay.
We've had enough signups for every age group for both baseball and softball to form at least one team. We will be playing with Scioto Kids Club, Kids Athletics. We're gonna work out the details since this is the first year that any outside teams have played with Scioto. Scioto typically does it by themselves, and obviously not having a fall league prior to this. We don't know how many home games we're gonna get out of it, but we're hoping a couple.
Okay.
But I would say, when's your next park meeting? Is it once a month?
Uh-huh.
I'd say by your next one, we should know our practice schedule.
Okay.
So,
Fantastic. Congratulations on that. Okay, so as long as we get schedules,
okay.
we'll take it to council for approval.
I'm
should-
sure Sarah knows all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Shouldn't have any problem with that at all. Thank you very much.
Yep.
How exciting. Okay. All right. Weed control on the diamonds. We have found, the mayor has found a solution, a spray that has been very effective to use on the diamonds for weed control. It is very expensive. We're going to try to find somewhere where we can buy it in bulk to bring the price down some, or another comparable solution that is a little more affordable. But we've been using that, and again, it's been very effective. I believe that was the request that the Youth League wanted, was weed control during the off-season. So I think we have a solution to that, okay?
And will we work with, I guess, administration on a schedule of when that will be done, based off of tournaments and off-season and,
We will only be doing it in off-season, is my understanding. That's all they requested.
so like March through When do you guys start summer ball?
Well,
We start in April, beginning of
but do we want anything during practice time? Like in March?
Well, our spring season is the season of weeds, so
Yeah.
doing it on off-season is kind of pointless.
I thought that's what you wanted us to
No,
do.
April through July. Because off-season is, fall, winter, when the weeds aren't a problem.
So you're dragging the dragging the fields during season,
Oh, that's something we do now, yes, we have to, that's how you maintain a.
and doesn't that take care of the weeds?
No, not, there's different types of drags, different types of equipment, things like that. Weeds are, nasty little buggers that like to just pop up anywhere.
So you want it through August through March?
August through July,
August through July.
April through July, that's it.
April through July.
Yes, ma'am.
So you want us to do it April through July?
Yes, just, with that's the actual weed, not just regular dragging like we do on a daily and weekly basis.
Okay, I'll relay that to the mayor. That you want the weed control April through July. Okay. Thank you. Okay. We went over Tri-County practices. Adam, you and I had talked in regards to, you did not want any contracts. You're not gonna do any league play at Mason Park.
No, we're not having a league out there. We're just using it as a practice facility.
Just gonna do it as
We have
practices.
one tournament coming again.
In one tournament. You'll sign a contract for the tournament.
Yes, ma'am.
It's been brought to my attention of a concern of having consistent practices at Mason Park without a contract. I am going to be talking to the solicitor this week. I did not think you would need a contract for just practices. I still don't think you need a contract for just practices. There is a concern that has been brought to my attention, so I am going to be talking to the solicitor this week. And if there is a need for a contract for a month of practices, I will let you know. Okay? Is this something that is going to be repetitious throughout this year, next year, or is this just until the Diamond at the community center is fully up and operational?
Ideally, we'd like to still be able to have something
Okay.
going on with Mason Park long-term anyways. It's
Okay.
within the village, we're also going to use the community center. And
Okay,
actually, by next year, we hope to be in other communities around that are
okay,
still having the same issues. Getting enough
Absolutely.
kids all of the same age range, and then finding volunteers to help with either concessions or their field maintenance, whatever that is, seems to be a common thing. Not a lot of volunteers are actually willing to step in and put in the time to do it, so. We don't wanna exclude Mason Park.
Okay.
We're still we're gonna help out Miss Megan over at the community center as well.
absolutely.
So, we're willing to do what we need to do, we just wanna be able to have these kids out there and give them an opportunity.
Okay. I will touch base with the solicitor and find out if a contract is necessary. If so, we'll readdress it. We will have to revise the contract because it's just gonna be for practices only. You'll sign a separate contract for the tournaments, and, we'll go from there. We'll talk. But if there's no contract, then once the contract for this year ends, then you will not have to be a part of the meetings anymore, okay? Do you have any questions on anything? Okay, okay, thank you. Now I'm going to address the Porta-Johns. The Porta-Johns, we have one out there now. There will be one consistently out there. I'm going to ask if Courtney can reappropriate funds from Park and Rec to the Porta-John Fund, wherever that was before, to ensure that there is one Porta-John out there for the duration of the season. We have never, correct me if I'm wrong, in the past, provided a Porta-John out there during the winter.
We never have. It's been
We-
up
we
until
never
October.
have,
And
right.
he's actually the one you need to probably, he's the one that does the Porta-John stuff, correct?
Well, I thought you looked familiar. Okay.
I did.
All right.
It's been a long time since I seen it.
Okay, yes, they will connect. So we will need to provide a Porta-John out there for August and September.
Okay, so, what are you guys going to delay in, can I finish my thought? Okay. What are you guys going to not purchase in your budget
What do you mean?
to pay for them?
What do we have in our budget?
Your guys are council, you should probably know that.
I don't think we have much of anything in our budget.
Well, I mean, just remember, you have operational costs, supplies and material.
Okay.
So what projects did you guys decide that you wanted to, nix to purchase these?
I have to go back to the budget and look.
Okay.
What projects
yeah.
are on the docket?
It's what council approved. Okay, so would you mind taking it out of some operationals and supplies? I mean, that would be my recommendation. I'd
Well-
first give council the recommendation first, as y'all should, you know, you guys get your financial
Yeah.
reports every month.
Yeah,
twice
but
a
I
month.
don't have them in front of me to look at
So,
those.
what I would suggest is like using some of your supplies and materials that you're not, you know,
Yeah,
that you've, because, you know, I don't
Yeah.
budget to the penny on, you know, costs like that.
right.
So, if you don't mind, it would be taken out of the operationals, supplies and materials.
Before we decide that, John, you had something you wanted to address on the Porta Johns.
So I did look back over the last 5 years. We've done the toilets for 5 years.
Yes.
And truthfully, some of it falls on us for not being consistent with the billing. Some
Right.
months it was donated, some months somebody paid, some months the movie night covered it.
Right,
Sometimes they just were out there.
right.
The ball league, we do donate to the ball league from March to July, to, you know, end of June. So, I was willing to work with the village, cause it is truthfully a lot easier if I put it out in March and don't pick it up until October.
Right,
The back and forth, not knowing who's paying, who is paying.
right.
So I don't have an issue working with the village. I don't have an issue marking some of it down as a donation for movie nights. If that helps the village, I don't have an issue with that.
Okay.
The biggest problem we have, and I know I've kind of talked to a lot of people about it, is where it sits, and I understand why it sits where it sits.
Right.
Passerbys.
Mhm.
People, I mean, you can be there playing at the park and you can watch 10 people stop, use that toilet and leave.
Right.
So in the beginning, having it sitting there, I didn't mind it being donated, but after a couple years of taking care of a toilet that I'm not getting paid for, that is heavily used by people who aren't there for the park, it's just kind of catching up to us. So, I also don't have an issue if you need to take this back, push it down a month. I can leave it out there. We can get settled up later on. If you've got to look through your finance, I don't care. That
Okay.
does not bother me.
Okay.
So if it's easier just to hold off, I'm pulling from A to pay B, I'm
Well,
fine with
we
that.
currently have a donation already, so there was an anonymous donor that gave a donation. I think you picked it up a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago.
We did.
So that pays for the rest of this month
Yeah.
until you guys get it figured out. But my suggestion, because you're reallocating money, you know, it does sit with this committee to confirm what projects, you know, you will, or what items you won't be able to purchase during your budget. So that's, I guess, why I would ask, I mean, I would suggest taking it out of operational supplies. Now, I did send an email out to all of council. I think everybody got it. I didn't get any replies back. But that was what I thought was probably happening, is that passer goers see it. It's not real lit out there. They can use it and then they drive off. So that's probably the issues that you just said is kind of what I put in my email, is probably why it's having to be picked up quite frequently and more often. The other suggestion I gave, if I may ask or say, is like, you know, is there a possibility the distance between where the most used, you know, in the off seasons, is it more visible to put it in the back towards the ball diamonds where most of the diamonds are being used, and getting that allowance of distance instead of putting it up by the entrance? It would be my thought process is to put it back out that direction, because you have the concession stand and things like that that are out by the diamonds, so that it's not visible. That was my other option.
Just speaking from cleaning it, anytime we have tournaments or games during the season, if we have a toilet in that back, It gets used 10 times more than the toilets up front in terms of during tournament time, game times. I think a lot of that is the distance between the back two diamonds, the concession and playground. When you look at it, prospectively, it's closer. The only issue I have with that is if it rains, I
Yeah.
don't like to drive through that
Your
grass.
truck can't get through there, yeah.
And I'm sure that sidewalk is fine, but I'm not a big fan of driving.
Which makes sense, yeah.
So, I'm 50-50. It's wherever you guys want to put it, I'm fine. I just want to make sure everyone understands that if it rains, I can't get back there.
Right.
And I can drive around that sidewalk. It's not a big deal, but
Or maybe make it, where the sidewalk, I mean, I don't know, as far as the distance would be the best
Well,
solution.
unfortunately, where it's out front is about our only option that way, and where it's at in the back is about our only option that way, unless you want to go all the way back behind, what is that,
Loading.
5 back there? You'd have to put it all the way behind 5.
Well, it
And
has to be
that's-
300 feet from the
yeah.
nearest well. Can it be locked?
Yeah.
Why can't we lock it?
You can.
Well,
But
then
it's
that
a-
would defeat the public
The
part
public
of
use
using
of
it.
Yeah.
that would be counterproductive.
Because
You
I
have to
take my
unlock it
kids
each
to play
time.
out there.
Yeah.
And it would have the key and it would run down there for events.
That would be me.
Well, how would people that are just at the playground, children, where would they go? And I know we had a discussion regarding 2 porta-johns. You gave me a quote on a regular and a handicap. And I know right now we have a anonymous donor for 1. Do you see an issue or a need for 2? I mean, I know you have problems because it's at the road, people stopping and using
So,
it frequently.
I mean, like I just checked it today. It's been a week. It's out of paper. That would be standard service day for us. If it's out of paper, then that tells us we're at our limit for it. I would say for this year, it's probably best just to stick to 1. And then next year worry
That's-
about
I agree.
moving up to 2, going to a handicap, because the downside if you do a handicap, it defeats having that standard unit there because everyone's gonna use that handicap, and then it's gonna fill up, and those tanks are smaller because they have to be accessible, so the tank doesn't hold as much. So if you put 2 there, in theory, yes, you're gonna get double the usage, but you really don't. So if you put just a handicap, it's fine, but if you're gonna pay for 2, you almost want to put 2 handicaps there because everyone is going to choose the larger toilet. So I typically say, in these situations, get one or the other and just leave it at that. So,
Yeah. I would make the recommendation that we keep 1 out there by the road.
So I just have a question in regards to the money situation. So if Ed has the tournaments, is he required to have the porta-johns there during his
Yes.
tournaments?
It's my understanding he is.
But it's only for those specific days,
for those specific days,
and he would have you pick it up.
correct, so he gets them Thursday to Monday.
Okay.
He does not pay for, so if there's a unit there and say he needs 4 more, he does not pay for that one that is there. The only thing he pays for that one that is there is the additional cleaning that he gets out of it.
Okay.
So that cost of that one toilet is not included in his rental. He only pays for the extra cleanings.
And what's the cost for 1 per month? Was that 200?
No, 100.
100.
Typically, it's 115 with weekly service. Most villages and stuff that I work with, I'll go to 100 on it. That's with weekly service. And then, like I said, I wouldn't do 2 this year. I would just stick to the 1, and then we can worry about that next year.
I would recommend, and I want your input on this, I would recommend that we go with 1 for August and September and October. And we reallocate the funds from our supply.
Operating and
Yes,
supplies?
operating and supply.
Are you making a motion for that?
I am, for the
That's a total of
recommendation.
300. Right.
Second.
Any discussion?
Said August through October.
And then are we gonna listen to his advice on moving it from the road?
No,
No.
It's
No.
gotta stay where it's
it,
at.
it should stay where it is,
Okay.
yeah.
It's either, and he says he's 50-50 on the location, it's either there or that back between the two. And he says when it's wet, it's harder to get to that.
We don't wanna make it inconvenient for him either.
Right.
But-
But I also don't wanna make it nasty, you know what I mean, crazy, dirty for
right.
you either.
What would it be like if we were to have to have it cleaned more often, John?
I'm sorry.
If we had to have it cleaned more often, what would that cost be?
I mean, usually it's $25 for any additional service. If it becomes an issue, I'd rather someone just call me.
Okay.
And just say, hey, it had a bad day, had a bad night.
Okay, okay.
I mean,
And then could we pay separately for that?
I'll just come clean it.
Well, but we could donate back? Okay,
Just,
okay.
So as far as the operational funds, we also have a little incoming from tournaments. So is that already been allocated to something?
No, so that's different. So here's what I would suggest moving forward as we talk about the 2027 budget, is that you guys fixate it. So in the past, we have always had a Porta-John in there, okay? We've always had money allocated for the Porta-John. For whatever reason, this year, we have not, and last year, because I think
We
they
had
didn't have, or did they or didn't? I don't know, I can't remember that part. But I would allocate it because the money that's coming in is strictly donations, unless you guys allocate that at the beginning of the year or amend that budget, that you use that money.
Right.
So this is probably a separate topic, maybe that you need to educate yourself, like one-on-one with me and you.
Right.
Is that it goes into a separate fund. So donations are different. It goes into a 2041. These monies that you're asking to reallocate is in your general fund. There's a section in your general fund that has it.
So the money that we're receiving from parking for tournaments
Is not being
does not go to
subject to
parks?
use.
It
It
does go to
does,
parks.
but you guys are not restricting it for certain use purposes. So donations have to be restricted for certain purpose. So when you guys get these donations, this year, you guys did not ask to see if they could be restricted for certain purchasing. But you can.
Sitting somewhere then?
Yeah, it sits there until you guys choose to use it, and that's what happens with this committee, is that you guys choose to make a recommendation, and then council then determines what that is.
So do
And
we
if-
have to do that before you get the money? You have
Yeah,
to-
so,
you have to
well, you
say,
wouldn't know. So like, for instance, like, you know, say you have $1,000 in your donation for the parks or whatever. You would say, okay, we want to use 300 of that in 2027 to pay $500 to the Porta-Johns. You guys would have to restrict that.
Okay.
So whatever money's in there, because you can't restrict something that you don't know how much you're gonna get, because Ed's tournaments, it varies. So you guys would have to, again, if you have $1,000 in your donations, you would say, I wanna restrict $300 in 2027 to pay for 5 Porta-Johns, let's just say. But council didn't do that at this point, the beginning of this year. So if you choose to do that in the middle of the year, you can always amend. That's why I'm saying is reappropriation, and this is an education, I think, for all of council members. There's a difference between appropriations and reallocations. There's a big difference in using that term. And please, if you don't understand that, I can explain that better on a one-on-one.
Right.
It's a little different up here because you're at the high level. But I would say, in the future, you restrict it. You could use your donational money, or you could use operationals and supplies from the general fund. There's 2 funds that it goes to.
So at the end of Ed's tournaments after November, will we I'm sure we'll be able to see, here's all the money that you have made in donations. And then make a decision what to do with it, or it
That will be
all
a
goes
budget.
back to general fund?
No, so, I think this may be a off-the-cuff conversation with you, and I know that you're new, you probably, there's more to this than you know. So, it doesn't go away, it goes to a 2041 fund. So on your financial reports, do you see 2041 on there for Parks and Rec?
Yeah, those
Okay.
things are pretty large,
Yeah.
so, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
so if you see that number, that's where those donations go to. And it'll have a line that says donations. And every time we get a check from Ed, it comes back to council. Remember, you guys approved these to go to donation, okay? So at the end of the year, when you guys do your budget, and I'm gonna use this as an example, say you get $1,000 from Ed. And at the end of the year, when you guys wanna go to budget time, and you wanna pay him $500 for the Porta-Johns for 2028 on, I'm gonna pick a month, January to April. You're gonna say, I would like to take $500 from the donations, and we are going to pay for those Porta-Johns. So that when it's time for him to get paid, Courtney doesn't go back, you don't reallocate, and you don't reappropriate. So it's very important to understand what your asks and your wants are throughout the year, and write those down somewhere, put them in your phone, send an email, and just say, hey, I don't want to forget this. But that's where you're gonna ask those donations to come from. Because you can use your donations however you see fit. Whatever council decides, majority rule, whatever council decides, if they want to buy red t-shirts for everybody, they can buy red t-shirts for everybody in 2028. You have to be able to understand how you restrict those. That's the important part. Reallocation and reappropriation is very different. And I don't want to go into this, it's more of a finance question, one-on-one question, but that's the difference between that.
So when you start a council, for, Parks and Rec, right? Like, if somebody like me that's new and things like that, do you guys have like something where we get finances and we get to see
Oh,
when
yeah.
things,
Mhm. Yeah.
it's passed
Uh-huh.
out and stuff?
Yeah,
we
so
would be
what it
able
is
to
it's
know?
based upon the comfort level of each person. If you choose to be a good council member, you're gonna ask questions. If you choose not to, then you don't. I mean, council gets financial reports every single council meeting. So if you choose to want to understand reports, that's by choice. It's not a requirement. It's just that you sign your name to approve reports if you know them or don't know them.
Well, our budgeting starts tomorrow in the finance meeting, so. it's
But
a
I
long
would make a
process.
note of that in this committee, so when I say in every committee, hey, write down some items that you wanna take to budget, and I say it during council meetings, hey, do your wish list, hey, write down what you think you're gonna need, hey, write down, you know, what you guys wanna spend, what you wanna buy. It's no different every year in the asking.
Right.
It just depends on how you wanna use it.
And do they have a specific meeting for that where people can ask?
We do.
Yeah, so
Or
we
do
develop
they
it
say,
here.
You can fit
We
me in the
do.
budget, can
Yeah. So you do that at your committee level first,
Perfect.
in an understanding that, okay, we want to buy red shirts for everybody. Then you take it to a work session. And then a work session basically is that there's a spreadsheet that gets thrown up on the board, on the wall, and it goes line by line by line by line. And whatever your wants and asks are, say you want to buy red shirts for everybody on Wednesdays, okay? It would go through a vote. So you would have a work session that would develop what that is. But at the end of the day, Courtney has to have something that passes by majority. So it depends on what the reaction of council is, whatever that vote is. But it comes to the committee so you guys can discuss it, so that when it comes time for a work session, at your work session, you put it up here and you all can defend it and say, yes, I want everybody to wear red shirts. Okay, so it really starts at the communication here, and then it takes it to a higher level. Because some people, they don't attend meetings. Some council members don't attend the meetings, and they're gonna wanna know, why are you guys wanting red shirts to be worn? I mean, I'm just using that as an example.
Right.
Not that that's ever happened, I don't want anybody to get that interpretation. But that's where it starts here is, you know, this is the reason why you have committee meetings, is to discuss items like this.
I appreciate you explaining it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Moving on. That's all we have on our agenda. Does anyone have anything else they want to bring forward before we close?
Becky, you had your hand up a couple times.
I did, and several of my questions were answered, but, I guess the one thing that's still in flux, when we had the ladies come from the youth league last, month and ask that we, you know,
There was a
scrape the
back,
fields.
okay.
You know, like twice a month or something during their season. And then we took a vote, it did not pass, and it was told to be brought to this meeting. And when you guys talked about it, I don't see that anything, I mean, other than you have a spray that will help with it.
With the weeds?
It will help with the weeds,
Mhm.
but it won't, it's still, they're gonna need scraped off. Some of them are attached deep, and, you know, sometimes those fields will not need to be scraped every 2 weeks. They may have a mass amount of ball games, and those kids may just run all the weeds off. But I
I think what they were wanting to get was a commitment from this village, this council, that we would do that if necessary. So I think it's only right that, it get addressed and not just put off again we'll deal with it down the road.
Yep.
Too many things like that happen here, and it gets a little frustrating that like things don't just get taken care of. And I think the village, you know, I know there were some questions posed on Facebook or by council members just speaking about it, that would it take extra manpower? No, we have a designated person out at the park, Jack. And he does mowing, he does tree watering and things like that, and sometimes the other guys help him with things. But, you know, if it were only a couple hours, twice a month, we would not have to pay any overtime, we would not have to get new equipment as suggested. It would just be a matter of, and again, sometimes they may get volunteers to do it, but we as a village need to take ownership in our own park and step up and say, yes, we will make sure those fields are playable, and we will ensure that. And if necessary, we will do it up to twice a month, scraping those fields. I just feel strongly that, you know, it's just like the Porta-Johns. I think the Porta-Johns, I think this gentleman is awfully gracious for donating all that he has. But as he said, he's been doing this for 5 years in this community, and he's not been making hardly any money. And that's his business. That's how he feeds his children. And it's great to volunteer, and it's great to donate. But we are taking advantage. I think we need to pay for at least 1 to 2 Porta-Johns every month from March through October. And then whoever else comes in and plays on those fields can add on their extra Porta-Johns for tournaments for the season. I just think we need to take more responsibility in that it's our park, and we want people utilizing it, and we're proud of it. We don't want to just shirk all the responsibility onto someone else.
So,
Thank you.
okay, Becky, you reside at 299 West Columbus Street, correct?
299 East Columbus.
East, okay.
Okay, so thank you for your input, and I did consult with the mayor on this before this meeting. We are not in a position to take ownership of that at this time. We do not have the equipment to do that, that is in good enough shape to do that. Whatever you say, you say.
So why is one saying we have the equipment?
I
and
don't know
one is
who
not?
that one is that's saying we're having the equipment to do it, because we do not. It would take the tractor, we would have to remove a part to that. I'm not gonna pull it up on my phone as to what he said, every 2 weeks. We cannot do that at this time. Jack is there to mow and to weed eat. He's not there to drag a field. However many hours that would take per month, that's up to Andy. Andy's not here. I'm not gonna answer that question for him. Jack doesn't work for me. He works for the village, and they answer to Andy. So,
Well, I mean,
okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
So is Jack mows the lawn there, or, you know, right, and that's with the tractor? Is that
No,
correct?
that's, we have a mower for that,
Okay.
okay?
I didn't know
Now,
if it was
if somebody wanted to volunteer a pickup truck or something, or their time or whatever, it can be done. But again,
So what would a pickup truck do? I'm sorry, I'm trying to understand.
would
why
drag the
you're
field.
saying
You
that.
you can put a drag on the back of it, and you can drag the field.
Okay.
So there's a difference in just dragging to be game ready
Yeah.
and then dragging to scrape.
weeds. Okay.
So what the youth league is asking for is the scraping, because they have a little drag with a little lawnmower to get fields ready for games.
That's just kind of making it looser.
But they need a little heavier equipment to scrape the fields, if you will.
How can
And
we find out if we have
Well,
or do not have?
I'm telling you,
it
we
sounds
do not
like they
have.
just don't want to put the piece on and off.
Do we have the piece?
Yes.
We're not going to move forward with this tonight because the mayor is not here to answer these questions. Now, we had Tri-County Youth League who was willing to do all of this at no cost. There's a lot of friction between Tri-County and the Eagles. Don't know why, don't care. Tri-County has refused to do anything now because they don't like the controversy. Okay? So they've stepped away from that.
No, hold on now. I said that I didn't wanna do it under the pretense where I was gonna be accountable by somebody else's standards for their
Okay.
organization. I'm willing to still come down there and help, never said that. Our motive was simply to provide these kids in the community a better place to be at, okay? That was our thing all along. What I said is I didn't wanna sign a contract stating that where if I wasn't out there every Monday and something came up where I couldn't be on there on Monday, I didn't wanna get a phone call Tuesday morning where you didn't keep up your end of the deal, you weren't there Monday. That was my provision where I said I won't sign a contract obliging us to it.
Were you asked to sign a contract to do that?
No, the idea was preposition, and said, would you be willing to, because that would solve the problem. It was
Okay.
the village was trying to hold somebody accountable for everybody to utilize it, and it would still be maintained, and it was gonna be at a zero cost, I wasn't gonna take anything for it. But I said, how would that wording be, if that the agreement was bi-weekly on a Tuesday, if I didn't make it on a Tuesday because of whatever reason, if there was something Wednesday and we needed to, but there was a practice, how does that look? Because the contract said we was gonna do it every Tuesday. Well, I've got a life, I've got a job, we have a league as well, we've got kids.
You get sick, okay.
Correct, yeah, and that was my criteria with it, said, I'm still willing to help out, but I didn't want a contractual obligation to say.
I
every
was not aware that
Tuesday.
there was a contract for you to do that.
No, there was never.
He said it was proposition,
It
would
was
he
just
be
said, hey,
willing to
if
sign
it
it?
was
Oh,
thrown
okay.
out there,
And he
would
said,
you
"No, I
entertain it?
wouldn't."
I said, under the circumstances as it is now,
Okay,
I would not, but if we kind of
Okay.
find some common ground, I mean,
okay,
we have the equipment, we have a scraping blade, to the credit of
Okay.
even with the weed spray when we was out there doing them.
yeah,
The spray does work if, I don't know which one you're referencing, but salt water and dish soap did a number.
mhm,
You waited a couple of days and you went back and you took a blade over top of it and it did
Mhm.
pull the dead weeds out.
mhm,
You have to the weed spray alone is not enough.
okay.
You still have to go back and spray.
Have you had a discussion with the mayor since we have talked last, or?
No, we had a conversation a couple of weeks back
Okay.
and that was the last week's.
Well,
I
the
think
last I
biggest
spoke,
issue, sorry, I think the biggest issue between everything was Adam has said numerous times that they would be willing to do this.
Absolutely.
But there's been so much pushback.
so much.
So from the Eagle side, what is it that, I mean, are we good with them still helping?
I
mean, that's the thing.
That's not an issue. It shouldn't be an issue. If they want the village to do it, and the village finds that Tri-County is available and willing to do it, then that should be appropriate. I don't know
It
why
should
we
be,
have
but
to
it's been a
have
big fight
permission
ever
from another
since.
league.
I agree with it, but I still think even what Ms. Becky said there is that the village itself should hold an obligation to its own part.
Right,
Okay, there should be something outlined to where, let's say, I break my leg tonight, right? I was the only one that was out with our piece of equipment. I was the only one out there consistently with it. If I fall injury with it, who's gonna still go out there and do it? And if we've signed a contract, that means I'm not upholding mine in the bargain, good with a parameter beyond my control, or say we up and move or something like that. You guys should still have a plan of action in place. to say
I do not disagree with that, but that is not my decision. That is a council
No, I
decision.
understand that, ma'am. I just meant that,
Right.
I agree with Ms. Becky on her.
Right.
comment. There should be something.
Totally agree with Becky, but that is a council decision.
I don't disagree with that either.
So,
But I'm still willing to help. I just don't know
Okay.
how if we're gonna be a contractual obligation, I would like to see how the word is gonna be, cause again, to the
Right.
credit of it, it's bi-weekly on a certain day. Well, if something happens, what happens
Right.
that following morning?
right.
Back to where we were with
But again,
Not worth
even,
asking.
even if we were to go that route, we still need a backup plan, as you suggested.
Yes.
So, we can't make that decision tonight.
yes.
We can make a recommendation to take it to council and the mayor to get on board with it.
Because the point is, we can't keep putting
We
it
cannot
off
keep
and
putting
off
it
and
off. You're absolutely
So
right.
if that's what needs to happen
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
meeting, can we get that to happen?
Absolutely. And I'll
We
make
need
that
to take care of our village
Melanie?
places.
Melanie, can you come up to the mic and, so that people, the public can hear? I don't know if they could hear Becky, but
Sorry.
that's
I
okay.
was talking really loud.
Melanie Fritz, 471 Wingate. I would like to ask the Tri-County Youth League, what equipment do you guys use when you scrape it?
Just a tractor and plow blade.
Yep.
Just a tractor?
Tractor, we use my truck a lot with,
So
Right to the village
it could be done with a pickup truck?
Yep.
Yeah, we use it.
And
With
the
a
village
rake.
has the scraper already?
Yes.
That, I don't know.
That's what
I know
the-
I
that's
had.
what we're-
And the village owns pickup trucks because that's what they use to plow with, right? So therefore, the village does have the equipment to do that on their own.
But I think what Heather said was that the pickup trucks weren't enough, you had to have heavier duty equipment?
No, it sounds like we do have a drag. You said you use a village drag.
Village has a drag. I have a.
We have a drag.
5-foot fixed blade scraper that we was out there.
So
using.
it's a heavier
Scraper.
drag with
Scraper.
claws.
Tractor.
That does
But
work.
you can get
So
away-
there's
it takes a lot
options.
more time, but we did those field 3, 5 in the T-ball field, we did that with a pickup truck. The league that the drag that the league already owns, or the village already owns, was out there. And a more aggressive version that we borrowed from another friend, and I think Ed even donated one as
Okay.
well. So at one point, we had 3 different drags out there. But at a certain point, a scraper makes a difference, being able to push them weeds off.
Can I ask how much time it took you boys to do
Oh
that?
my God.
A lot.
Yeah. I think when we went back and looked at my Google Maps for how much time we was there, despite what people think, I was there something like 96 hours in a 3-week period of time.
Do you
that I was
think-
out there.
Because we've asked for help
Yeah.
for a long, long
Yeah.
time from the village and didn't get it,
Yeah.
and we are working on
So you were
the
catching
little
it up.
hillbilly stuff. we
Yeah,
have.
we were trying to just help out because it was, again, our thing with the older kids, we were just trying to make it a nicer park. These kids all, it wasn't about just us and it wasn't anything about anything else. It was just
Okay.
trying to do something nice.
Okay, so for the sake of time, because we're running out of time, I'm sorry, go
Nope,
ahead.
you're good.
No,
I- it-
go ahead.
It's just, the maintenance on the field hasn't been there. Some of it during the season is on the Eagles. We don't necessarily have the best equipment. I can say that over the last couple years, I realize there's been a lot of struggle with the leadership there. I can say that I think it's headed in the right direction. There is plans for us in the next couple years to get the equipment we need during our seasons
Okay.
to maintain the fields. It's taken him that long to do it when it did because the T-ball field's not maintained. The grass, for whatever reason, grows like crazy on that field. If we can start a schedule of just maintaining it, it's gonna save everybody time, and it is going to make the fields in the long term look better.
And quicker.
But it's just
And
gotten
that's
away.
why- And that's, John, that's why I brought up at the last council
Okay.
meeting that we don't expect you guys to do it all the time. We're asking you to help us get it kick-started, and then our goal is to not have to ask you guys, because we know you're busy and finances and all this other stuff you got going on. We just need the help to kickstart.
Do you need her name and address?
I have it. It's
Okay.
Sarah,
Sarah Sloan?
okay, and your address,
7325 West Jefferson High School.
Okay. Okay, so, okay.
Also, being out at the park today, I was just wondering if you guys, now that you have found an appropriate spray, if you could spray the playground area. There's a ton of grass in the playground area for the kids, and I know a lot of those burr prickly things grow up in there. So if there's any way you guys could spray the playground area, that would be awesome.
Thank you. I will take that to Andy. Okay, so, let's go with the recommendation that, but I want to remind you in the contract for the youth league, it has always been that we maintain the fields, not the diamonds. Now, we're going to have to change the contract going forward.
Fields are diamonds.
No, the
In
diamond.
Ohio Revised Code 75513, Ohio municipalities are responsible to maintain and supervise all playfields, which includes ball fields.
Okay,
Not
thank you.
diamonds. It's
Our
all
contract
playfields.
overrides that according to the mayor. And he is telling me that in the contract, it says the fields, which are not the diamonds. So, that being said,
So you're calling your public park just the field?
I am telling you what the mayor has advised me to bring to the table.
Okay, when
I'm
will this
saying we
happen?
can I'm saying we can make changes as needed,
Okay.
okay? As of right now, we maintain the fields, not the diamonds. I recommend that we move forward with maintaining the diamonds appropriately during April through July, as needed with the scraping and the weed control. I recommend that Adam Sweenberg reach out to the mayor and meet with him on any volunteer work that you can help with or assist with during those times. I don't know what you need in the way of a contract, or
So the recommendation was every other week, so did you want to put that in the recommendation
every other week,
from July or April?
April to July. It doesn't,
Can I please be a part of those meetings, Adam, between you and the mayor, please?
Yeah, I got
Thank you.
you. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
all right with that. Anything that gets this where it's nice.
We need
and
to get
easy
it done.
for people, I'm okay with it. That's-
So is the recommendation that the village is taking responsibility from April through July, bi-weekly scraping, and having volunteers as they volunteer? Is that the recommendation?
that is the recommendation.
I will second that.
Okay, we'll do an individual,
That seems to be the fair way to proceed.
And just out of curiosity, because we were talking about donations and allocations and all of that stuff, is it possible to take some of the Parks and Recs donations and give these guys at least $50 or $20, $40 to do it?
No,
Just to give
not at this
something
time, I don't think.
for the volunteer, no?
it's not set in the budget, but again, a budget is set once council amends a budget.
Right,
Would that be
So-
a 1099 though?
Yes.
yeah.
But-
I wouldn't take it. I would advise that when it came to that point, is take that money to go towards a piece of equipment that could be utilized
Right.
by everybody. You're putting it
Right.
all on the weight
I,
of one person's
I
shoulder.
second that.
Right.
It would be better, no one taking care of those fields is gonna want paid for it.
Correct.
It would be better to put it towards equipment.
And
You just say, hey, let's buy this, and this is owned by the village, but it's used
Right.
by whomever is
I
going
just
down
get
the
worried
road.
when
I don't think it
volunteers don't-
necessarily has to be you, Tri-County, that is volunteering. If you break your leg, God forbid, and I want to take a truck out there and volunteer because I know the guys are working on a water break or something, let's just say. Like, I don't think it has to be on you. So I think this recommendation makes the village responsible for bi-weekly scraping from April through July.
Okay, so that's not what the motion said.
It is
So
not.
she had that it was Adam is going to speak with the mayor to volunteer his work and time.
What does he need to speak with the mayor about? If
Well,
we,
Joyce is the one that made the motion, so that
Working out a
comment would go here.
schedule with the mayor.
or-
I'm gonna rescind
Well, would
myself.
would anybody second the motion that Joyce has on the table? So the current motion is that we would maintain Fields as needed. Now, Fields sounds like there's a difference between Diamonds and Fields, so we probably need to make
We
sure
have
that
6
it's
minutes.
Diamonds. As needed, scraping and weed control. Adam Sweenberg would speak to the mayor on volunteering his work. And this would be from April to July, every other week. So is there a second on that?
But Joyce, was you talking about the village maintaining every bi-weekly?
No, she said Adam.
No, I
No,
said,
I would not second it. I would say the village needs to come up with a concise plan to say that somebody through volunteerism. What I am saying is, once that's agreed upon, I will communicate with whomever about trying to work out a schedule that works for me in conjunction with what the needs are. But I will not absorb the sole responsibility of maintaining it on behalf of the village.
Okay, I can-
I won't own that. but
I can
will
revise
work
my
with
motion
you
for the
guys
village to take the
to help out.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you withdrawing your motion?
I'm withdrawing my motion. I will make a new
You
motion.
can just take a seat. We're still in another meeting.
I will make a new motion that the village take the responsibility of maintaining the diamonds every 2 weeks from April to July.
I'll second that.
through volunteerism.
Through volunteer.
Through volunteerism, whoever that may be.
Yeah, just leave, I like, yeah, just leave.
Just leave it as is.
Well,
and then
because what if you
volunteerism
can't
can
get
come
to it, then the village is going to have to.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I don't
I
see
wouldn't
anything
say
wrong
through
with that.
volunteerism.
Volunteers.
I don't see anything wrong with that. We have enough people
in this village that could be willing to do so. We could even line up volunteers.
We already do.
But we can't
Adam-
rely on
Adam
volunteers.
can't, no,
Yeah, but to the verbiage of adding volunteerism, that means you're putting an expectation on volunteerism.
Right.
And that's not in fact in volunteerism, that's slavery.
Keep it
That's,
with the
you're
village.
forcing me to show up and do something against my, or, you know what I mean? That's-
right.
So you just say, we,
And
guys
then-
will figure
But
it
then we
out.
also have an employee who was kind enough and willing enough that he would do it, if necessary. He would.
But that would still be the village's responsibility.
It would still be our
Okay,
responsibility.
so let's, as we move forward, because we got 4 minutes here. So Joyce is making the motion to, the village will take responsibility and maintaining fields/diamonds. Okay? Every other week for the months of April through July.
April through July.
Okay, is there a second on that?
Second.
Okay, we're gonna do a roll call this time. Nathan,
Yes.
Adam,
Yes.
Caitlin. Youth League Representative John,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
and Joyce.
Yes.
Okay. All right, because it only stays here, just remember, for those that are new, this needs to be taken to council.
This
So
is just a
tonight, here in
recommendation.
3 minutes, it's gonna be taken to council. So Joyce will make the motion. This is only recommendations. Laws do not happen in committee meetings, okay? So just to be clear, Youth League people that are listening, just because you hear it here, it's not that it's for real. You gotta take it to council.
And then volunteers can step up as they
As needed.
go.
And if we
I-
don't, we're still covered.
I do need to go back to, which we didn't complete here, about the, motion for using operational supplies for the $300, for me to reallocate. Is there a motion for that to
You
happen?
have that motion.
Second.
And that was Nathan?
Yep.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
And just double checking, that's for $300 through October.
Correct, August, September, and October.
Got it.
And
Yep.
then we can do the budgeting later.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
2 minutes.
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
You don't have to have a motion adjourned.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Okay.
Yes.
Have a good night.
John,
sip there.
thank you. No, you did not. We appreciate your input. We appreciate all you do.